sorry. And there I am. I was talking to myself the whole time. It's a Monday night. Welcome to the show. My mind is elsewhere, thinking about tomorrow. We're going to talk about that tonight. I've got some good stuff. We're going to open up the lines, and we're going to chill together because it's an interesting engagement. It's been an interesting year so far, and this is definitely building to be one of the bright points, if not the bright point of the year, and I love it. And I'll talk about that tonight, as it is wedding eve, holy matrimony tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning. But tonight we're going to be hanging out. We're going to be taking calls. I have a couple of topics. We have some mixed news up front. We also have a topic that I think will be really interesting and kind of related to marriage, because it has everything to do with the consummation of marriage and of course conception. And that is are they old wives' tales? Are they just theories or whatever? But how do you? Everybody has a theory at how you go about having a boy. How do you go about having a girl? What are the conditions? What are the positions? You know, there are so many amazing things that we've heard over the years. And I came across a article or a tweet on this subject early last week or whenever the hell it was. And I said, you know what, I'm saving this for next week. I think this would be good fodder leading up to the wedding, and I know that it'll get a lot of calls coming in, and the lines will be open, and we'll be live for the full 2 hours, I think, and then that'll be that. So thank you all so much as I broadcast live from Studio B. I won't be back in. I think I'll actually Wednesday afternoon, something like that. I'll probably go to Studio A to hang out with Aurora a little bit, and maybe we'll go live and we'll do a special broadcast for a little while. Obviously, that's all dependent on whether or not I can have her sitting in one chair for long enough to do a special broadcast. So, whatever. But there's a good chance that I won't be back in Studio A until the day after Memorial Day, because that's just the way this week is shaking out. Okay, that's what I have for you right now. Thank you to our sponsors, BlueMonsterPrep.com. I also heard from Paige at the Coffee Revolution, and she said that we have another batch of, quite frankly, mugs they're in. Okay, so now they only come 100 mugs at a time, so I'm pretty sure that we'll be sold out by next week, and then we'll have to put in another order that won't come in until August. Maybe we have to put in a bigger order, but they cost a lot to make because they're handcrafted. So there's been plenty of people asking about the mugs. And I just wanted to let you know that as of right now, we've got a fresh batch that are in. So go ahead and you can check that out. The same link that you would use to get the coffee. It's on the affiliates page. It's a banner on the front page of quitefrankly.tv. And those are my big announcements. That's that. When we come back, Rich Barris, Ben Davidson. I definitely want to cover that. Now, June 1st is, I think, on a... I think that's a Saturday, or it's a Saturday. But June 1st is that cosmic baseball game that we talked about. What are they called again? The Chilies? The Chili Peppers? What are they called? Hold on. Yeah, the Tri-City Chili Peppers announced they're going to play a cosmic baseball game on June 1st featuring UV reactive uniforms, bats, and balls that will pop in neon colors underneath custom black lights. I'm gonna find wherever the hell this stream is. I gotta get some highlights from it. It's a Saturday, but I want to watch that. And who the hell knows? Noor Bin Laden is gonna come back on soon because she's doing a gigantic WHO update out there in Europe. Book club is starting up again on June 3rd. Get in on it. It's gonna be great with Charlie Robinson. We were talking about that on the Sunday stream with all the monthly sponsors yesterday about Dandelion Wine and Ray Bradbury and his writing style. Just the introduction of Dandelion Wine. If you are an aspiring writer, you just got to read the introduction to Dandelion Wine. Just saying. Got a little writer's block? Are you in need of a mentor? This is how you get what you want. You study those who have it. And what a wonderful success Bradbury is. Okay. All right. Well, there's plenty more. We've got true crime that's building up. We've got legendary side quests that we're going to be doing close to Father's Day. At some point, Razorfist is coming on. I've got a great guest coming on that hasn't been on in years. His name is Ian Jacklin. You guys are going to like that one. In studio on June 9th, Jeremy Ryan Slate is coming in to talk about the Roman Empire. And far, far more. Far more that we're working on. So I hope that you're all ready for a great, great June. Because I am. Okay, into the grab bag we go. Let's see. All right. Boom. First one up. Did you hear about this? There was what's going on in the Congo right now? Trump supporting Utah's son. Oh, wait, hold on. No, it starts over here. 3 Americans are accused of being involved in a failed coup attempt in Congo that left multiple people dead. According to the Democratic Republic of Congo military, they stopped an attempted coup near the presidential palace. Among the 50 people who were involved were 3 Americans who have been arrested. A passport for one of these Americans is now spreading online. A 36-year-old U.S. citizen born in Maryland. U.S. Ambassador to Congo, Lucy Tamlin, has acknowledged the involvement of U.S. citizens in a recent statement. The coup was allegedly led by U.S.-based Congolese politician Christian Malanga. He was killed at the presidential palace after he resisted arrest. That's going on. And then there's a little bit more on that. Trump supporting Utah Marcel Malanga, detained in Congo after witnessing his father get killed after their botched coup. This is so bizarre, says Colin Rugg. Marcel and his father Christian left Utah for Congo to try to overthrow the government. Marcel's social media shows him supporting Trump here in the United States, showing off his money, his guns, his diamonds. Yeah, we're going to blame this on Trump now? 2 black guys that want to go to Congo and overthrow the government there. What is this about, though? The hell is all this about? If you have any theories on this, call in, because the lines are going to be open, which means you come bearing gifts. You come bearing gifts. Obviously, the first thing you think about is CIA. But what's the issue? We know that there's a lot of interesting overflow from the Congo coming over across the southern border. What could it be? This was an innocent boy following his father. I'm so tired of all the videos being posted all over, being sent to me. God will take care of you people. Karma's a bitch, says his mother, who's now speaking out after the failed coup attempt. The father and son duo led a couple dozen men, a few of whom were reportedly American, and tried forcing their way into the government's complex in Congo. Christian Malanga was shot and killed while resisting arrest. Marcel appears to be a normal American kid. He played football at Copper Hills High School in Utah. He was also a Trump supporter, according to his timeline, his Twitter timeline. So that's going on in the Congo. How's your day? What have you guys been doing? How's everybody been feeling? How are your kids? Are they staging any coups anywhere, with or without your permission? There's always something going on. There's always something going on, especially with this dimwit Joe Biden, who was speaking at a commencement somewhere, I think for a black college. Let me see, where the hell are we at? Here we go. Biden tells black graduates that Republicans don't see you in the future. Doesn't see you in the future of America, in a fiery speech slamming right-wing extremists. Can you imagine? Well, I guess it's easy to imagine it because everybody does it now. These freaks show up at people's funerals and at their college commencement speeches for their graduation, and they start talking about roving bands of radicals, whoever the hell they want to slander and pillory or whatever the hell it is. It's just incredible. They just pop a squat wherever they want and take a crap. It could be your commencement. It could be your son's funeral. They're going to show up, call somebody evil, try to whip up votes. I don't know, but this is ridiculous. He says Trump and his President Joe Biden told black graduates Sunday that former President Donald Trump and his Republican allies don't see you in the future of America. The president didn't use Trump or GOP's name as he addressed graduating seniors from Morehouse College in Atlanta, but it was clear who he was talking about as he brought up January 6th amid their commencement ceremony. I know. It's not just about wishing people a good a nice life, and you should be proud of what you're doing here. Quote, insurrectionists who stormed the Capitol with Confederate flags are called patriots by some, Biden told the seniors graduating from the historically black all-male institution. Not in my house. Oh, thank you, strong white man. He said extremists close the door to opportunity, strike down affirmative action, attack the values of diversity, equality, and inclusion. Oh, I hate those words. I hate those words so much. They don't see you in the future of America, but they're wrong. We know black history is American history. It's like they have this own, like this they're in another dimension. Liberals in general, when they talk about this, black history is American history. I know there's a lot of people who like to get it all together, but of course they want to make sure that you have a very myopic view of everything, so that there is no balance and there's less room for you to be radicalized in any way. You can actually lead a healthy, balanced life. You don't have a chip on your shoulder given to you. We know black men are going to lead us into the future, said Joe Biden. Yes, that's right. Oh, yes. Joe Biden represents a system of white oppression. He's the face of a system of white oppression right now. And that system, thank you, Joe, for pointing this out. That system is preparing to hand over all of its power and authority to you, black men. Oh my God. This is like watching an old man go down to the park to feed ducks. An old codger tossing breadcrumbs at the park. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Preaching powerlessness, but also saying that you're going to lead us. You know? It's almost like Kathy Hochul saying the black kids in the Bronx don't even know what a computer is. The word computer. It's not even like how to turn one on. They have not even heard the word yet. But we've got to introduce them to what a computer is, because if they don't know what it is, we'll never be able to innovate them. So what are you talking about? The fantasies are not even coherent. Just make a coherent fantasy. Anyway, that stupid dodo bird, Michael Cohen, hands Trump prosecution another terrible day, says Zero Hedge. Prosecutors in Donald Trump's New York hush money trial may have colluded with the Biden administration, but apparently none of the galaxy brains involved thought far enough to consider that their star witness, Michael Cohen, might cause their case to implode. I mean, he has imploded every case that he's been involved in so far. He's created nothing but headlines for dimwits who don't care about anything but headlines and talking with their cross-legged friends at, mimosa meetings in Rye, New York. To wit, last week, Cohen was dog-walked through several lies he told over the past few years. Today, Cohen admitted he stole from the Trump organization. This is true. During cross-examination, Cohen admitted that he lied to former Trump Organization CFO Alan Weisselberg in 2017 about how much he needed to reimburse for a payment to Redfinch, a tech company that provided services to the Trump Organization. While he asked for $50,000, Cohen only paid the company $20,000, pocketing the difference. You stole from Trump Organization, correct? Defense attorney Todd Blanche asked. Yes, sir. Cohen replied. What a dodo bird dummy freak. Dodo. Go in the way of the dodo bird. There you go. When Blanche then asked if he ever repaid Trump Organization or, quote, did you ever have to plead guilty to larceny? Cohen replied, no, sir. I have the clip right here. Take a listen.
The full cash.
Hold on a second.
Finch.
Let me turn this down. Listen to this.
And Cohen confirms that he owed Red Finch $50,000 and never paid the full cash.
Who's that? Who is that? Who are you? You're Aurora? Yeah. Come in. Thanks. What are you doing?
I'm doing nothing.
Okay. What were you just doing? Did you finish your movie?
Yeah, I ate a lot of snacks.
Yeah, I know. And you ate a lot of food though. To tell everybody what you had for dinner.
I I don't know.
What? Don't pick at that. What did you have for dinner?
Broccoli and a carrot and steak and bacon
And a baked potato.
and a baked potato.
And then, okay. And what's happening tomorrow?
Mommy and Daddy wedding, and I will be flower girl.
You're gonna be a flower girl.
Yeah.
Do you-
And after that, you're going to Maine.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what do you have everything for you're gonna have picked out tomorrow? Do you know what you're wearing tomorrow?
Yeah, I think I will pick a couple of clothes.
But don't you already picked it out? Don't you have a dress?
Yeah. Yeah.
And there you go.
Can I change?
You can touch one of those. No, not that one. Do this one.
Shut up, silly woman.
Oh, what about this one?
Oh.
Oh, no. That's a bad word. Anyway, what else do you want to tell everybody before you go and get yourself ready for bed?
I really want to do this.
Yeah, but that one doesn't do anything. It's already off. So
I did.
then there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. You can slide it up, but it's not. See, there you go. Good job. Good.
I thought you wanted more.
No, there's no more to do. So say goodnight to everybody. Hey, what did we say? What did we say? Say thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Say, I'll tell you all about how the wedding goes when it's all over.
Tell you all about the wedding goods when it's all over.
And what about on Wednesday? You want to go with me to the studio to do a special broadcast with me in front of the microphones there?
Yeah.
Okay, say everybody, I'll see you Wednesday.
I'll see you on Wednesday.
Say a prayer for us.
Say prayer for us.
Okay, love you.
Love you.
All right, see ya. Have a good one. Can you close the door behind you? Thank you, sweetie pie. I will miss you too, but I'll be right here. I'm going to be very tired, yes. Okay, bye. Okay. All right. You know what? Let's listen to yeah, what a nice. That's a perk that I can't buy that perk. Doing the show from the studio. Oh, she's gonna be so cute tomorrow. I can't wait for that. It's gonna be a short walk down the aisle. I'll tell you all about it. We're gonna be doing like 25% of the aisle just because we wanted to get her involved, or else we would just be there and it'd be a quick ceremony and all that. But want to make it exciting for her too. Let's listen to the dodo bird and then we'll go on a break and we'll start taking calls. Here we go.
Trump's attorney, Bland, says, you stole from the Trump Organization. Cohen says, yes, sir. He also confirms lying to Alan Weisselberg. I don't know how many that is on the list, but that's another prevarication. And Cohen says he never pleaded guilty to larceny. On they go. Blanche presses Cohen. You did steal from the Trump Organization based upon the expected reimbursement of Redfinch. And he says, yes, sir.
So I mean, I don't know what it is. You know, people talk about things like they talk about things like humiliation rituals and being forced to do one thing or another to pay their way or to do penance. If somebody has blackmail or something hanging over your head, you wonder what the hell somebody has on somebody else for them to be acting in such a obviously self-destructive manner. Like, what's really going on with that doofy face Michael Cohen in that doofy dodo bird's life? What's really going on with this guy? Every time he pops up for air, he ruins his life again. And I think it's hilarious. I actually think it's pretty hilarious. I would usually have pity on somebody, but what a doofus. All right. We will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for the time so far. Let's get going.
I'm a little weenie looking for a bun, just a teeny weeny itty bitty one. If I keep on cooking, I'll be overdone. Pickle and onion, hot dog. Get out of here!
was that?
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life.
It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back.
Does anybody else want to stay?
Let's ride!
Jerry Bale, everybody.
If our lips should meet in Amorata,
Sing it, Jerry.
kiss me sweet in Amorata.
That's right.
Hold me close and say you're mine.
Oh, it's good. Feels like Valentine's Day, but it's just an anniversary, but a very special one. I gotta tell you, I'm nervous about tomorrow. I'm nervous, even though there's going to be about only 3% of the people who were there the first time around. It's just a big day, really is, and of course, it's special having Aurora there. You know, I had talked to my mother about this in the past, and I completely agree with her, especially when you have a child. I was, and just recently, I was talking about this with Adam Krigler, because he's about to have his firstborn in August. And I told him, Adam, you've got to, if I can give you any advice right now, because he says, I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to meet him. I says, I know. But you also, at the same time, it's very weird, you have to soak up the feeling of not knowing what they look like. Because obviously, you'll never be able to imagine a time when you didn't know. And it goes beyond that. I says that not being able to imagine a time beyond before knowing your child, it starts going retroactive in your life, where every time you pop in a home video, every time you pop in some kind of you watch some memory from years before they were born, you expect them to just run in from somewhere. My mother once told me years ago, and I didn't understand it. She goes, even when I watched the wedding, my mother and father's wedding video from 1983, she goes, I still, every once in a while that wedding comes on, because they want to laugh or look at what everybody's wearing and just reminisce or whatever. She still expects me and Anthony to, be running down the aisle or doing something untamed in some other part of the video. And that's just what it is. So it's going to be interesting to be to have Aurora physically present for something like this. And she's 3.5 years old. Is she going to be able to remember? Is she going to be able to remember anything without the assistance of some kind of video and pictures and all that? Maybe fragments. Who the hell knows? Cognitively, that girl has a lot of advantages I didn't have. So she might be able to remember in full detail tomorrow, 20 years from now. But it's going to be something interesting to actually have her there and to do it again. And there you go. All right. So tonight, and I heard about Iran. We'll wait to see what happens there. Iran announces interim president after Raisi's helicopter hit a mountain and disintegrated. So there is a lot of people assuming the obvious things. Israel, the U.S., which are sometimes indistinguishable. And there's that. So we'll see what happens. It's still pretty fresh, and there's time to wait it out. Hopefully there's time to wait it out. You just don't know anymore. All right. What else do we have? I'm going to first throw this out to you guys. It's about decaffeinated coffee. And then I am going to I want to open this up for everybody. We're talking about conception superstitions. All right? First, this is what we got. This is from LaGradaOnline.com. Goodbye to decaffeinated coffee in the U.S. Its ban could be near. What the hell is this all about? Huh? Doesn't affect me, but first they come for the union workers. It didn't affect me, so whatever. Coffee, considered the elixir of life by most adults who do not get enough sleep. The nectar of the gods arises controversies wherever it is served, and everyone has a preference. Even those among us that cannot have caffeine have found the caffeine-free alternatives making their way into their pantry and everyday routines. In a society that values coffee so much, it is no surprise that the rituals surrounding the beverage have become intrinsically entrenched in our lives. The first cup when waking up in the morning as a self-care ritual, a mid-morning jog to the office cafeteria with colleagues to decompress before the big meeting of the day, coffee during that same meeting to keep hands occupied and minds focused, a cup after lunch to extend the social ritual just for a few more minutes, a weekend brunch with friends, or a coffee date with a new partner or a friend in need. All these instances are centered around the aromatic cup, and while, of course, some people will prefer tea, the majority will just keep ordering coffee after coffee. But with coffee comes caffeine, and that is where most of us will jump the train after a certain hour or a number of cups a day. In the past few years, the market for decaf has increased significantly. Not with me. With recent estimates putting its consumption rates in at least once per day for over 26 million Americans. While historically the taste has not been up to snuff, the improved extraction techniques have made even the staunch coffee purists admit that the taste has improved. Also, the taste has not been up to the taste was a typo. The coffee culture in the past 20 years has rapidly evolved, with tailored roasting according to the preference, a shorter time between grind and cup, and many other industry techniques making their way into our home kitchens. But decaffeinated coffee today, here it is. Last section. With so much education surrounding the beans, the old myths about decaf production are falling to the wayside, and the truth of the techniques is being lauded. Since all the coffee beans contain caffeine, the process to eliminate it from the beverage is, processing it. Beans will undergo a process using chemical solvents, primarily with methylene chloride, to eliminate the caffeine and turn the drink into decaffeinated coffee. This is becoming a problem, as methylene chloride is not the safest of ingredients. The occupational OSHA is ringing the alarm over its dangers. Here's a quote. "It is a volatile, colorless liquid with a chloroform-like odor. Methylene chloride is used in various industrial processes in many different industries, including paint stripping, pharmaceutical manufacturing, paint remover manufacturing, and metal cleaning and degreasing." End quote. So probably not something we would like to put in our body in large quantities. OSHA has even gone as far as to declare it a likely carcinogen, which is where the Food and Drug Administration comes in. They have been studying the substance to consider the health risk it poses and has decided to, along with the Environmental Protection Agency, ban it from most commercial application, especially food production. Right now, the substance is allowed in small traces, 10 parts per million, but the end goal is to have it completely removed from consumption. This also applies to other chemicals like methylene chloride, benzene, ethylene dichloride, and trichloroethylene as also carcinogens. But not all is new for decaf drinkers and lovers. There are non-chemical methods to extract caffeine from coffee. The Swiss water method, which soaks green coffee beans in water, allowing caffeine to naturally dissolve over the course of several hours, is perfectly safe and already in use by many companies. The Clean Label Project, a non-profit organization assisted by board of directors and medical advisory board, has tested several brands of decaf coffee to figure out which companies will still use or still do use methylene chloride in their products. Amazon Fresh Decaffeinated Columbia, Kirkland Signature Decaffeinated Dark Roast, Maxwell House Decaffeinated Original Roast, and Cafe Bustelo have all been found to contain the chemical. Did you hear that? Did you write them down? If you do still wish to continue purchasing the decaf drink, they have not found traces in Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts. That's better than Starbucks. Folgers, Caribou Coffee, and Illy. So you may still be able to continue to enjoy those. So it's a little bit of a dramatic headline because obviously it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away, but I don't know. I've heard that other parts of the world, extraction methods like CO2 and whatever, but I don't know how much more people, I don't know how anyone drinks it in the first place. Obviously, there's more people drinking it now than there has been in a long time, but it's almost like when my grandmother would drink O'Doul's, the non-alcoholic beer. Especially to someone like me, beer tastes like crap to begin with, but at least there's a buzz at the end of a few bottles, or in my case, one bottle if I have nothing in my stomach. But the O'Doul's, I never understood that because it tastes so much weaker. There's a weakness to it. I can't put my finger on. Anyway, what else did I want to say? Oh, I had a lot of great feedback. It still comes in. It's still coming in little bits by little bits. And I'm happy that so many of you enjoyed the Friday night show with some of my now grown-up Little Leaguers. They had a great time. The conversation was good. And hey, at the end, I kept politics out of it because I didn't want to put them in a weird position. I don't know who in their family's watching, but Everett, he dropped a Sleepy Joe comment on us at the end there. So that was very promising. That was promising. And that was a very special night for me. I talk about those years coaching so much on this show. And it was a very special thing for me to actually be able to make it more tangible for you all. And it turned out being wonderful because I wouldn't be able to recreate that. If I coached another 15 years starting tomorrow, it's just the time frame in which it all happened. And the kids that were coming through, their fathers, the relationships that were built, the traveling, it was just, it was a lot. And maybe another 15 years would be special for another reason, but it was a good thing. All right. That's what I have. I have holy matrimony on the brain this year, and one thing I was reminded of, this is where the main topic of tonight's show is going to come from, okay? I was reminded of over the course of the last few months, as you go through all this stuff, that a marriage is not complete until it is consummated. In fact, that is one of the few legitimate reasons for annulling a marriage within the church too, if it hasn't been consummated. If there's nothing, because you have to form a family. That's a big part of it. But then I come across this tweet. When the hell was it? Where am I? Is it here? Come on now. Hold on a second. My bad, everybody. For some reason, it's nowhere to be found. Hold on. I know where I can find a copy of it. There we go. Here we have it. Here is a tweet that I saw just a couple of days ago. Yeah, it technically was last week. Are you ready? Listen to this. Now, it sounds a little ridiculous, but then again, every theory I have had on how you conceive a child, one sex or the other, has been a little bit ridiculous sounding, where I just don't believe it. But I said, this is going to be I bet you any money this will be a great topic conversation, and I want people to start calling in already. 914-200-0269. Here is the post. You ready? From Carnivore Aurelius. Said the following. It's an excerpt from a book. Which book? I don't know. Choosing the sex of a child. The following techniques have been found to be 90% effective in producing a child of the sex desired by parents. Now listen, we are having an adult conversation tonight. I don't think it is very raunchy or anything like that, but just, Be prepared. It's an adult conversation. So let all the kids know if they're not mature enough to handle this, they got to get out. Just get them the hell out. And if they're mature enough for this, then we can talk about it. Okay? But other than that, that's your warning. Now, from here on in, I just want all the adults in the room with a theory on this to call me. It's very important that you call, or else open lines is going to suck. 914-200-0269. The following techniques have been found to be 90% effective in producing a child of the sex desired by parents. Conceiving a male. Okay? Here is how you conceive a male with 90% effectiveness. Intercourse should be brief, and ejaculation should occur quickly before the woman has had an orgasm. The man should withdraw his member halfway, just before ejaculating. Men who always have premature ejaculations will more often than not produce male children. In other words, if the man's sexual ability is weaker than his wife's, they will always have male children. If the man is stronger, the couple will often have female children. Isn't there a female population? Hold on a second. Male to female population ratio. Oh, 101 males to 100 females. Is this for real? Wikipedia? Blue represents more men, red more women. Oh, we're pretty. It's pretty even. For some reason, I thought that there's a lot more women than men, but still more men than women. So I guess there's a lot more premature ejaculators out there. This is what I'm talking about. In other words, if the man's sexual ability is weaker than his wife's, they will always have male children. If the man is stronger, the couple will often have female children. Conceiving a female now. Intercourse should be extended, and there should be many orgasms for the woman. The man should penetrate as deeply as he can and then ejaculate. I'm sorry, this is very, very graphic, but this is what I wonder about, because everybody has a theory. And this is 90% effective? Well, where's the study on that? I don't know. Let's take a call. 512, you're on the air. What do you think about this?
So for a lot of reasons, it's pretty easy to look at the evidence. Myself and a lot of my guys are from the military community, and we all have girls.
Okay.
And for all the obvious reasons, the boys who go out and fight, suppress their testosterone, they go out and they win all the time. They do a good job. They come home. They try to make babies. They always think it's going to be easy to get some sons in there. Most of us have daughters. Like 85, 95% of us have daughters. And it's just the biology of the thing.
So this is well known what you're talking about as far as the subset of the population who have served in the military. They overwhelmingly have daughters.
Almost entirely. So the combat arms, the combat troops, they go, they do all the work. Like I was saying before, on the biology side of things, we suppress our testosterone. We go out and we fight, flight, or freeze, those types of deals. And then we come home, and when it comes down to you said we could have a grown-up conversation. So when it comes down to the spermatozoa,
mm-hmm.
the female swimmers are stronger and faster and smarter, and they outrun the male swimmers. And that's why all these military guys, for years and decades, for at least the last 25 years, the last 20 maybe, we mostly have women, daughters.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to take your word for it, and I have to go and check that out. But you speak with a formidable amount of authority, so I believe you right now.
A lot of practice on my part, but also the community itself. We all joke about it, but for the last, I don't know, since 01, 03, 05, you name the era and the generation, we've had to go out and do the work. And then when we came home, most of us had daughters. And at first it was a weird mystery, but in the end, we just looked at the biology of the thing. And girl swimmers are stronger and faster.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for the call. This was a great first call.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Here, let's just keep going. Let's keep going. 402, you're on the air. What's going on there? Hello.
We all joke about it. But
Okay. We'll have to go to that one later. 570, you're on the air. Go ahead. 570.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on there?
Hey, it's Shake and Bake.
What's going on, Shake and Bake? What do you got for us?
Yeah, the first caller when he was talking about guys who served in the military having majority of girls. At my previous job, I worked with a guy who served. We used in the Navy, and he spent a lot of time around radar or signal equipment. And he finally had a boy. I think like 2 years ago. He had $3 before that, and his theory was, because him and all of his guys had just majority girls, was that the signals from the radar equipment or sensor equipment that they were around killed Y chromosome sperm. That was his theory, at least, because he had his experiences with him and his other guys lines up with what the first caller was talking about. So that's why I wanted to contribute to that.
Now, do you remember him going into any detail on that? Because I have spoken to quite a few, I don't know, maybe not more than maybe 2 or 3 people who have told me that they believe that they've developed quite a few problems from, in transit, sitting on a missile or something, with being around depleted uranium or something like that, or just where they have had some kind of exposure to what you're talking about right there, but they never go into anything specific that they feel like the Y chromosomes in particular were targeted. They'll just talk about general issues they have. Did your friend ever go into why he believes it's just one chromosome that is affected?
No, that was just his theory. It was like a passing. I just remembered that keynote from that conversation from it had to be like 3 years ago now. And I just remember it, and there might be something to it, but in terms of anything specific that we talked about in the conversation, I've long since forgotten it if we did talk about it. But I did remember that his theory was, the stuff that they're around in the radar systems or sensor systems on their aircraft and their equipment could possibly be targeting the Y chromosome sperm in their reproductive system, and that's why servicemen have majority females versus males. So okay. That's really all to it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Shake and Bake.
Yeah, take care.
Okay, take care. I've already had a couple of really interesting things that have been submitted by the audience in Gildan and a few other places. We got calls coming in right now. Here's one from Nicole. Says the male sperm moves faster than the female sperm, but male sperm dies quicker than the female sperm. Having unprotected sex 2 to 3 times a day. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Having unprotected sex 2 to 3 days before ovulation would heighten the chance of female sperm being alive long enough to fertilize the egg when ovulation happens. Sex during peak ovulation usually leads to boys because they get there fastest. That makes a lot of sense. And I've heard about that the Y chromosome is just like bigger, or say it takes a lot more energy to carry it, whereas the boys are a little bit, they got a little bit more, it's a little bit of a lighter payload, if you want to call it that. That makes a lot of sense right there. Unprotected sex 2 to 3 days before ovulation would heighten the chance of female sperm being alive long enough to fertilize the egg when ovulation happens. Because I know that it can survive up to 5 days in there, in the womb, or wherever the hell it's called. I don't know how many compartments you ladies have anymore. There's new compartments are found all the time. Sex during the peak ovulation usually leads to boys because they get there fastest. But they just burn out. They burn out. That right there is a piece of information I would keep stored. I'd keep that one stored in your head. Let's get to the calls again. 828, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Frankie, what's up?
Who's this?
Hey, I got some experience. I got a daughter who's 18, and I got 2 little boys, a 5 and a 7-year-old. I think God makes you earn the boys. I mean, because when I found out I was going to have my first boy, I broke down in tears, cried for like an hour. The second boy, I cried for 2 hours, man. Little boys are amazing, especially when you're used to raising a little girl. Little boys are a cakewalk. You can look at them and tell what they're thinking. Like, little boys are different, but, children are wonderful. But, I had my 2 boys after I was 40, and the way I remember it is, I was doing missionary for my daughter, and both of my boys was the first cowboy, and I smacked her on the ass twice. So that might be the key to having the boy. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frankie. Yeah.
Did you hear that? Yeah, well, that could be. I'm not going to get into the specifics. I know what happened with Aurora, but I'm not going to get into the specifics there. But good Lord. I know Lauren would probably really appreciate a boy. Just so that she can have some kind, fathers and daughters, mothers and sons. There's just, so I'm sure that she would probably want a little bit of a, she has to deal with a lot more of Aurora's emotionality than I do. I don't know if it's just one of those things. So I know Lauren would probably really enjoy a boy, but I don't know. That makes sense. The slapping, I don't know if any of the slapping, 1 slap, 2 slaps, whatever that does, I don't know. All right, let's see here. Let's take another call. 464, you're on the air. Go ahead.
484?
Who's this?
Hey, it's AK.
Hey, what's going on, AK? How you doing?
I'm good. I have a theory about the whole conception thing.
Okay, go ahead.
So I think it has to do with the woman. I think the woman's body, determines what the sex is going to be based on, how the kind of personality she has. If she, and it can vary, some chicks are more feminine, and maybe this has to do with what the first caller said with, with all the army people or the military people having girls. I don't know, maybe all of their women are more girly girls. You know what I mean? Extreme girly girl, only hanging around with girls, something like that. And then if you have a boy, I feel like you have a chick who, is comfortable hanging out with dudes, doesn't mind, I don't know, maybe tomboyish a little bit, maybe less feminine, but I'm not saying she's butch or anything like that. I'm just saying she has more of she's more open to masculine energy, I guess you would say. I don't know. I don't really know how to put it, but that's my theory. And I've just noticed that all of my friends that have ever had girls, they're the ones that are really, really girly. And then the ones that have had boys are the ones that are chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Because I think, Lauren is more, she was not overly girly. She is girly. But she's not a tomboyish type. She's very type B, but she's not a sporty type or anything like that. She's just a cool chick. So maybe she just splits the difference there. I don't know. You know what I thought was
Does she have more girlfriends than guy friends?
Yeah, definitely.
It might be who she surrounds herself with too. That might have something to do with it.
Could be. Thanks for the call, AK. That's an interesting thing. And her AK calling and approaching that from energy standpoint is interesting because it kind of goes back to what this guy on Twitter, or at least the account that posted this excerpt from this page on Twitter, he goes into. There's people in the comments that are very practical about it, and they're talking about biology, and they're talking about timing and cycles and the strength of one sperm over the other, who's carrying which chromosome over the other, and what's most likely the outcome based on that. But when it comes to the original post over here, when they're talking about avoiding they're actually making the orgasm itself, that kind of explosion, that exhaustion in some ways, a major part of it. For example, the first one, conceiving a male, intercourse should be brief, and it should be over and done with before the woman has had an orgasm. The other time, they say conceiving a female, it should be extended, and the woman should have had many climaxes over and over again. Now that's interesting, just because it goes back to, for me, what we've talked about with reproduction on a mechanized level. You remember we were talking about what the hell are you producing when you take two cells in a laboratory setting, you get them into a test tube, and you're creating life in a laboratory. What's missing from there? Sure, you can get a sperm into an egg. You can get those cells to come together. You can start that cell division up and all whatever. And perhaps you're able to then transfer it in some science fiction-y way into a, I don't know, one of those artificial wombs, the latex sacs, silicone sacs that they're all, we see all these strange Frankenstein-y articles that pop up every once in a while, and we keep begging the question, what is the end result of this sheep or this human being who is made from this kind of a way? It's one thing to say, I have all the biological elements to create life, but what is the real spark of it all? And I wonder, I said, is the orgasm the spark? Is there, because you think about it, couldn't there have been some other way? Would it really have been hard for God to have just made the male's ability to squirt, genetic material into female human beings a little bit less, mind-blowingly fun and pleasurable? I mean, do you really need that sensation to just get genetic material into your mate? So I often wonder about that. What the hell? And the same thing goes with like pigs or any other animal. Apparently, you can tell that the animals have orgasms and they're feeling pleasure. There's only a couple of species that actually go out there and just pleasure themselves for the hell of it. Monkeys, us, whatever. But I always wondered about that. Is the actual orgasm some kinetic, energetic charge that is really, really necessary for the creation of life? That like an imparting of a piece of the soul to actually like get the engine kickstarted. Think about it. Anyway, so let's take some more calls. 352, you're on the air. Who's this? Margie?
Yes. Hi, Frank.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I know you are too.
Yes.
Tomorrow's your big day again.
I'm a little nervous, but yes,
And
go.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Okay, you're touching on a subject that has been big in the conversation around me. I've gone back to work for a breeding farm. We breed ponies.
Oh.
And the two girls who run this are in their mid-30s, and one did on purpose, girl, boy, girl, boy. The other girl in the business has 3 boys for her husband. He wanted sons, and so the fourth, she really wants a girl. And what they did was they followed the pony breeding stuff. In that, if you want the male sperm to survive, the female has to be very fit in protein, higher fat diet. Jay would probably know about this stuff, but they actually did it with the female's diet. When they wanted a girl, they went on a diet and ate vegetarian. They got girls.
Wow.
They wanted boys, they ate meat, drank whole milk, didn't get fat, but had a high protein, higher fat diet. And they did it 7 times now. So we're just waiting for 8.
Wait. So they're doing this with human beings. They said, we're just going to apply.
Yes, that's how they themselves are having their children. They're using the philosophy that they use when they breed ponies.
When they breed ponies.
So,
and with ponies, so
yeah.
what is it? Well, tell me a little bit about the diet of ponies. I thought ponies just eat oats. So how do you?
No, very rarely does a pony eat oats.
Okay.
But that's so cute. That's right out of the books. Maybe up north they do, but down in Florida they don't eat oats. It would make them too hot. They'd sweat. But what they found was that mares who are not in as good of physical condition, that maybe have a few ribs showing, tend to have fillies or girl babies. And the horses that are, the ponies that are very, have fed a higher fat diet have little foals. Yeah, boys.
Okay. So you just applied that. I guess it doesn't matter.
They applied that to their own bodies, and they said, okay, if our ponies throw this this sex when they are X, then we will do that too. And so one of the girls, the first one, she wanted a girl first, and then a boy, and then a girl, and then a boy. And she did it just like that, with more vegetarian diet to get the girl, lower protein, and then high protein, higher fat content to get a boy.
For the boy. Okay. You know what? We're putting that down, Margie. And Margie, you're go ahead.
No, that's fine. What were you going to say?
No. You can finish up real quick.
I forgot.
Well, and I was going to say, you are the one who called in about Joe Biden's brain surgery, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's been a while since I heard from you. You know, the missing 1/3 of his brain has become a topic of conversation on Twitter again recently. Every time that happens,
I know.
Every time it happens, I'm just like, oh man, we had the supreme of all calls that night when you called in. So I'll always remember you for that one.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Frank. I never forget you. I listen to you every single night.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for calling in, Margie.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
Oh,
Good luck, Frank.
Thank you. You'll see. Don't worry. You'll hear from me soon. Okay. All right. So eat more vegetarian in the lead up to conception if you are a woman who wants to have a girl. And if you want a boy, then you got to beef it up, fatten it up, get that bacon, have the steak. Okay. You know what? If somebody's doing it out there and they've been able to, get it down to a science where they can't ever lose, then it's either universal, or is that something that could be universal, or that is just how one person operates. You just don't know. Let's get one more call in, then we're going to take this to the second half. The night is going by like wildfire. 408, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Frank. This is Shmoopaloo, and I'm calling to give a little bit of advice on conception.
Go ahead, Shubaloo.
When the lady was talking about that the male sperm are faster swimmers. They're faster swimmers, and the female sperm are hardier. At the moment of, shortly before conception, you also have to think about the pH balance of the body. Okay, and we all have a tendency to be a little on the acidic side of the pH balance. Male sperm thrive a bit better in an alkaline atmosphere, where female sperm thrive a little bit better on the acidic side. Mm-hmm. So before conception, the woman would douche with baking soda and water, making it an optimal atmosphere for the male sperm.
Jeez.
And for female, you would want vinegar and water douche to help with that. My mother had 4 girls right in a row, and then 3 brothers.
So your mother knew this herself, and she applied it, and she built her family exactly the way she wanted it.
Exactly.
So she knew she wanted X amount of girls up front, and then at the tail end, she was bringing in the boys, and she got exactly the way she wanted it.
She did.
Wow.
She did. And like I said, and she got that information from her obstetrician many, many years ago. So,
jeez.
And it worked. Yeah.
See, this is crazy because here I'm thinking this will be a fun night because there's somebody's going to call in and say, hey, I know what you got to do. You got to put a heating pack on her back and throw her around in this position, whatever, and everybody just going through their little superstitions. But everything that we've gone through so far sounds very reasonable, and there's quite a bit of overlap. I mean, what you're saying right now doesn't necessarily have to go against what the last person was just talking about with supporting diet, because you're talking about pH. So if you take pH and diet into account, I wonder how you can supercharge your results. It doesn't seem like too much has been incongruent here.
Well, testing the theories is always fun. So
I guess.
And also, they say that if you are wanting a boy, hold off on intercourse as long as possible until you guys want to conceive. If you're wanting a girl, you would have protected sex as often as possible, and then at conception, don't use a condom. That also helps, because, like I said, that helps to kind of kill off more of the male sperm.
That's what
allowing the.
That's what we had. That's what we had seen. That goes hand in hand with what we had seen. That other comment, one of the first comments, it said that what you have is, didn't say anything about condoms. You're just saying have sex 2 to 3 days before ovulation, so that after that 2 or 3 days, the male sperm are probably not going to be able to outlast the female sperm, and that's what you'll have left over. So it's still very, very closely related, and I appreciate the call. This is great.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too. Wonderful. All right. Okay, we're having some fun here. We got more coming up in the second half. Listen, wherever you're watching, just park your ass, and we'll be back in about a minute and a half. I just want to put a divider in the middle of all this stuff, and then we're going to come back and do a little bit more. I would just like to say, ladies and gentlemen, because I got to say it more often, but I'd like to take a moment to encourage you all to voluntarily be a part of a voluntary free market support of independent media, of any independent media that you enjoy, including this show. Every way to support, quite frankly, is on the sponsor us page on quitefrankly.tv, or it's linked in this episode's description. All monthly sponsors for as little as $5 a month get universal perks, no matter where it is. Patreon, Subscribe Star, Foxhole through the chat room on pill.net, and also right through quitefrankly.tv, the Squarespace. All monthly sponsors, they get access to the Sunday streams, which are always wonderful, very intimate, very fun. Book club streams, that starts up again, that's 5 times a year. Band practice streams, quarterly raffle entries, and more. I'm always thinking of more things to throw in there. But if you want something more specific, something beyond the basic, Subscribe Star and Patreon are where you can become my pen pal. You can you can subscribe for monthly Polaroids. I send you an awkward picture every month. You get postcards, video greetings sent to yourself. And now Lauren is going to be posting more regularly behind the scenes stuff on Patreon and Subscribe Star. So at the bare minimum, ladies and gents, please give this episode a like, a share, a nice review on iTunes and Spotify, and please comment on the show, on the topics of the show in the comments section. That's wonderful. And at most, become a sponsor. Read a book with us a couple times a year. It's a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. And I'll be right back at the other end of this intermission.
It's intermission time, folks. Time out to press the like button. Thank you.
Rabbit season. Duck season. Rabbit season. Duck season. Rabbit season. Duck season.
Welcome to intermission. Intermission.
You are now entering, quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Watch Quite Frankly and stuff.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
All my fellow Franciscans.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly. Quite frankly. We'll be in the gulag with you, Frank.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Yo, what's good, Frank?
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly podcast.
I want to get a Coke. Can I get a Coke?
So everybody watch, quite frankly, with Frank.
Quite frankly.
How dare you?
Oh no! There you go. I don't know what happened. Oh. This was Lauren and I's first dance in 2017. I'll be with you in Apple Blossom Time. All the old timers in the family, they really, really loved it. And now tomorrow, you know, that's a really interesting thought right there. Is there going to be a first dance? I guess I got to bring Lauren home and just put the Sonos on or something like that, and just have a quick dance in the living room. Something, right? We got married in 2017. But I guess we got to do that. Okay. I was about to give her a call. I was about to give Lauren a call to see if what she wants to do. Do you want to go vegetarian, or do you want to, what do you... Oh, I'll talk to her about that afterwards. Hey, listen, what do you want me to do? I can buy a bag of carrots? Anyway, let's go to the super chat, see what people are saying. Hello Kitty says, hi Frank, happy anniversary. Dwayne and I just celebrated 21 years on Friday. That's May 17th. The time has flown by. Anyway, we wish you and Lauren the same kind of crazy love that we had for each other. Take care. Love y'all. Oh, I can imagine. Kitty and Dwayne are really great to hang out with. I can just imagine how much fun they've had over 21 years. Really good people. I'll tell you, 2022, it was a trying year. It was a it was a tough year, but it was also filled with such highest of high points. I got to tell you that trip to Myrtle Beach was awesome and much needed. People like Kitty were there. Kitty says, all that science-based voodoo on how to determine getting pregnant with a male or female, it's a load of horse shit. Me, got pregnant with one of each, twins. The boy was actually conceived 5 to 7 days after the girl. I know, your mind is blown. That is, wow. Incredible. I was waiting for somebody to call in or to send in a super chat like Kitty right now and just say, Frank, it's all bullshit. But so far, everybody has come in with pretty, I'd say logical theories that really jive with other theories. They don't conflict too much. But I've been waiting for somebody to say, Frank, it's luck of the draw, man. It's a luck of the draw. But I don't know anymore. After these, especially after the comments about the 2 to 3 days, and the strength and durability of male chromosome swimmers to female chromosome swimmers, it makes scientific sense. It does. It makes perfect sense to me, and I don't know. I think it's worthy of looking into a little bit more. All right, let's see here. What's another one we have? 1 second. There we go. All right, ST says, Frank, Lauren wanted to send early wedding celebration toast. Auguri per 100 anni. Thank you. 100 anni. Salute. God bless to you and yours on your big day, tomorrow and always. Thank you, ST. Thank you. And I really have to thank Lauren. I really have to thank Lauren. I mean, I would remarry her every year. But she did this for me. And that's why I think tomorrow is such a big day. I mean, before Lauren and I say our vows again at 10:30, I will have had pretty busy morning. Confession, mass, and first communion, pretty much in over 20 years. That's a big day. It's just something I wanted to do, and I also gotta really thank Father Tom in heaven. He put me on this path back in 2022. There's a path that started with Aurora's baptism, and then it was just a lot of self-reflection and analyzing myself. So it's a big one. That's why I'm nervous in a different way for tomorrow. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be good. It's like going to the airport the day of a flight. You're nervous about the flight when you're not at the airport. Once you get at the airport, you're just like, okay, well, whatever. It's not in my hands anymore. If I die, I die. Shotzi says, enjoy your time away with Lauren in the Nugget, sending much love. Well, thank you. Thank you. And along the way, we will be dropping little, pictures from whatever trail we find ourselves on. Probably, keep in touch with the Instagram. There's also the Patreon and the Subscribe Star. We'll just keep dropping things in there. And yeah, we'll find some good times for some streams at some point. Jay Britt says, Frank, congratulations to you and Lauren on renewing your vows. Hoping all goes well tomorrow and on your short vacation. Enjoy. Thank you. Thank you so much. And then Shannon, Phil's WW says, don't like to send cash anymore. You're doing a beautiful thing tomorrow. May God bless, keep, and protect your marriage and family. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Shannon. I really appreciate it. I do. Poso for Hope on the Rumble Rants says, coached travel softball for 15 years. And that sounds great. I love it. I love it. I really do. And I miss it in many ways. And it was good to have those guys in the studio with me because nothing can replace the thrill of those years, and just volunteer. It's 15 years of volunteering and create memories with local children and teach them whatever lessons you can extract from a baseball game. Not my name on quitefrankly.tv, on pilled.net. Says, congratulations to you and Lauren on renewing your vows. Here's to your family's health and well-being. Cheers. NJSF, many congratulations on tomorrow's ceremony. Porpoiseful says, hey. Witchy says, happy anniversary, Frank and Lauren. Just Jesse, thank you. Witchy Poo says, knock up Lauren on your honeymoon. We'll see what happens. We'll be sleeping in the same room as Aurora. So that's it's not going to be the most acrobatic of evenings. We'll probably have to find some other time. I don't really. Winston Dave says, yeah, what Witchy Poo said. You. Thank you, Sean Joe. Sleeve of cookies over there. Spirit 554. Divine Spark is a glorious thing, no doubt. Tomcat sent a ship. Just Jesse a cookie. And Esther says, I'm so happy for your familia, Frank. God bless. Let's take a call. 440, you're on the air. What do you got for us tonight?
Yes, hi, Frank. This is Cobalt Cat, the new listener. I spoke to you, I think, a couple weeks ago regarding parasites and whatnot.
Absolutely. It's great to hear from you.
You and your wife a happy renewal of your vows tomorrow.
Thank you.
And I really enjoyed, I listened to Friday night's episode on Saturday, actually. I enjoyed listening to it. I've got a lot of friends. In fact, I'm going to be hopefully joining maybe next summer, but not this summer because I don't have any time. But in terms of baseball, there's for blind, it's called Beat Baseball. And he's always telling me, I got a good friend who travels from state to state and they go to all these championships. We have a baseball team here in Cleveland, and he's always telling me, oh man, it's such a great time. I used to play it way back in the day in the summertime, and it's no joke. Everybody is,
Wait, I lost you right there. Everybody is what? Hello? Wait. I wanted to hear the rest of that. Okay. Well, I'm very sorry to have had that call drop like that, but it was great to have her call in. You know, this time of year, the smell, I mean, it's already outside tonight and the last couple of days. That smell, the beautiful smell of the season rolling in. I just think about time traveling to when there's just so many dusty nights on baseball diamonds all over the place. Just independent league, pony ball, men's leagues, whatever the hell it is. There was a time not too long in this country, not too long ago. Yeah, maybe it's just about a century or a little bit less than that, a little bit less than a century ago. Most towns had a team, and that was a point of pride. Towns playing towns. It's just what you did. They had teams for everything, especially baseball, and I just love that. I love thinking about that. Again, a time that I never knew, but still, the times that we did have, those will be the good old days for us, for sure. All right, 914-200-0269. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, you can call in about anything if you like at this point. Here, for example, I want to throw this out there. This is a little bit off topic. You remember we were talking about frequency, resonant frequency with Jay Gulanello? Well, listen to this. And then we'll get back to this later on. Ready? Hey, Frank. Great show last night. You guys were talking about Royal Rife again. So this came in on Thursday night after Jay Gulanello was on. So let's listen to this for a second. Hold on a second. Where the hell is the... Oh, there you go. You were talking about Royal Rife again, and I wanted to share my experience when I met a practitioner of Rife's techniques and got a tour of the equipment. It was in 1998, and I was living on the road in the area of Santa Cruz, California. I had made some friends in the area who took me to meet Robert Anton Wilson at his condo in Capitola, where he made me macaroni and cheese. Well, that's a nice memory. These friends took me to meet someone they knew who lived out in the middle of the redwood forest in the area. We drove out through the forest and ended up at a log cabin. A suspicious older man, maybe mid-60s, with gray hair, beard, and a mustache, opened the door partially and inquired about who I was. He wanted to make sure I wasn't the FBI and that I could be trusted. He opened the door and let us in, and I was deeply astounded by what I saw. We were in one large open room, and the walls were lined with benches. On the benches was all kinds of equipment. I remember oscilloscopes and some of these glass enclosure contraptions like colored plasma lighting stuff inside. Plasma lightning inside, like, you know, the plasma balls you get. Well, same thing over there. Kind of like those balls that you used to get at Spencer's where you can touch it and the lightning would come to your fingertips. But these were obviously custom made. And that was really the basis, you know, when we had Matt Rife on talking about how he was resurrecting some of his great uncle's materials and his technology. He wasn't doing plasma, it was, you know, peculiar to me. But still, this is what we're talking about. When he proceeded to explain to me that he cured cancer with this machine, that's when he did that. He would take a sample of the cancerous cells, amplify the resonant frequency, and then project it back onto the cancerous area, where the cells would resonate with a higher amplitude and vibrate themselves apart. He said he had cured multiple people, but he was convinced the FBI was after him, and he was very, very paranoid. That idea had inspired and amazed me tremendously at the time. What would happen if you did the same thing with something like serotonin or some other feel-good chemical in the body? What would be the effect of stimulating the frequency of something like that? Not with so much energy that you would destroy it, but I was wondering if you could stimulate emotions using this trick. I imagine someone unleashing this wave throughout the PA at a concert and watching everyone writhe in orgasmic joy uncontrollably. You can charge a hefty bag price for a ticket like that. Yeah. So yeah, when you did that show on Royal Rife the first time, it connected my own mysterious experience with the tech with this whole other timeline of where it came from. Really, really cool. I forgot to write back then, so I'm glad that you brought it up again. Sound, music, resonance, all really fascinating and mysterious subject with much more to discover within. And that is Tom from Northampton. I thought it was very, very interesting. You just don't know. How many cabins in the woods? Is there a 60-something-year-old man, paranoid old man with gray hair that is has made himself a little bit of an outpost just filled with old plasma tubes, and he can just zap cancer away? Okay. Alrighty. Let's take what I'm going to do here, I'm going to throw this out now. I'm going to give you this other article. We found this one. Let's see here. Krista had found this one. Krista sent it. Here you go. 1 second. Boom. How to ensure it's a boy. This is from The Week. According to a 100-year-old pregnancy guides, it all depends on which ovary you decide to use, obviously. What? Listen to this. Let's see here. Pick an ovary. According to this guy, Davis, sex of the embryo in man and the higher animals is determined by the ovary from which the ovum in question is developed. Where is she? She's up here. Laura Davis, who wrote The Law of Sex and Determination and its practical application in 1916. You're picking an ovary. In the normal female, the ovary of the right side yields ova, which on fertilization develops as males, and the ovary of the left side yields ova, which are potentially female. To this end, the influence of gravitation can be utilized in order that fertilization spermatozoa shall reach the right or left ovary. It is necessary that gravity should carry them in the desired direction. Therefore, Davis would counsel women who wanted a boy to lie on their right side. Percy John McElrath, who wrote The Key to Sex Control in 1911, also believed gravity was important to conception. After inception, she should lie for 3 to 4 hours on the side of the ovary which matured the ovum. If it is not known which ovary matured the ovum, she should choose the most comfortable side to lie on and remain on that side for 5 or 6 hours to assist by gravity the ovum to the fimbriae. I don't know how this extremity of the fallopian tube. Fimbriae. Fimbri. I don't know. But that's crazy. So you ladies know which one's firing an egg out? You can actually feel which one's firing off an egg? Never know. I'm sorry. Maybe the school system let me down. I never heard about this. If society, or say his own personal sense of professionalism, had permitted Mr. McElrath to actually talk to a female in his era, he might have learned most women are hard-pressed to know which ovary they excreted an egg out of. Oh, okay. So I was going to say. So then maybe I'm not too far off. That sounded weird. Nope. Does it feel like cracking a knuckle? Similarly, Mr. McElrath would be unlikely to know which of his testicles produced the most virile sperm. Although he had a solution for that, as we shall soon see. Enfeeble yourself. Henry Gourier, writing in 1886, didn't think gravity or even ovaries mattered when it came to having a son. Gender was determined by whichever parent was the most feeble. If marked symptoms of debility exist on the side of the sex that is desired, the sex will be produced naturally without any effort to be of being made. Therefore, if a man wanted a boy, he must set about handicapping himself with what Gourier called the debilitating regimen. Wow. This is most essential, said this freak from the 19th century. The food should consist of thin soups, white meats, such as veal, chicken, and lamb. But wait a second. Veal, chicken, lamb, that's high protein. Let's see here. So just corn, starch, pastries, also vegetables, and in the summer, fruits. For drink, in addition to water, weak tea may be taken with meals. If a person desires to attain still a greater degree of debility, why would all that debilitate somebody? This is so odd. To perform manual labor and to bathe frequently in warm water. So in the 19th century, one debilitated oneself by eating lean meats and vegetables, performing physical exercise, and taking warm baths. Exactly. Well, see, I'm so happy. I'm so happy I'm not nuts. Somebody needs to tell all these people down at the gym that the havoc that they're wreaking on their bodies. If they continue that way, extensive bloodletting with an unwashed nail might be the only way for them to regain their health. If the basic debilitating regimen did not result in a son, Gourier permitted his readers to exercise even harder and then have some wine. Listen to this. Then finally, if this course does not suffice, aperient drinks should be taken, and the exercise of the body should be carried to fatigue. But what does that mean? In between every time you get your wife pregnant? I mean, this is not even like from day to day. Okay, well, I have to up the exercise. I had another girl. It's like every 9 months. What else do we have here? What else do we have? Ugh. Even better than the methods was the disease method. The absolute best time to conceive a child of your own sex is on the immediate heels of any horrendous illness. The period of convalescence from acute diseases. It is at such times that these senses and the generative organs, recovering from their somnolence, commence to shake off their inertia and come out of their inaptitude. That the fatigued body, that the depressed and enfeebled economy finds itself in the most favorable condition for generation and for producing its own sex, both at the same time. So that's it. You have got to be the weaker one. You have to be the unhealthier one of the couple if you want to have that boy or that girl. If you're a man and you want a boy, you've got to make yourself useless compared to your wife on a physical level. So this is what I'm talking about. There's a lot of theories out there. I mean, this right here is just superstitious. That is just superstitious. Like, what's the science behind it? What's the science behind it? Aperient. Thank you, Dwayne, for putting that in the Gilded chat. Aperient, gently stimulating evacuation of the bowels, a laxative. So, there you have that. All right, we'll be right back. A quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Scientists were able to mimic Nessie Amun's voice by recreating his mouth and vocal cords with a 3D printer. It allowed them to produce a single sound.
I'm gay.
Hello, God.
John, it's still a church, John.
I know it's a church.
Well, then be religious.
That is religious. I'm saying hello to God.
There's so many places you can go with this one. But, we'll just take some calls. 914-200-0269. I wanted to take it easy tonight. You know what I really like? I like this one guy on YouTube. He probably posts elsewhere. But he does one of those death drop. He's like an operator of one of those death drop theme park rides where you sit in a chair and then you just drop like 10 stories or something like that. And I like how he tricks everybody into getting them ready. He'll say something like, "Oh, hold on, I didn't put your seatbelt on," or something like that. Take a look at this. I love videos like this. He does a really good job.
All right, ready for chill? So where y'all from? Kansas. That's a long drive, isn't it? Super Bowl champion. Yeah. What you guys think of the swing today? It was cool. It's fun, right?
Yeah. You trying to distract me?
My eyes are closed. Hold on, I didn't hook your seatbelts in right. I gotta fix them. Hold on.
You better take a check.
Got him. Got him good.
I like this guy. Hold on, can you imagine that? That's the last thing you hear. Hold on, I didn't put your seatbelts. That's a guy who enjoys his job, and that's all. I love people who enjoy their jobs. I don't care what the hell it is. It just makes the world such a better place to be in. Such a better place. That's a good one. I'm gonna get more from him. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. I'll bring you more good stuff. All right, let's take a call. This should be good. John, what's going on?
Hey, Frank.
How you doing, man?
Did you see the chick works for the NSA, right? National Security Agency, whatever?
Where?
With the 18 million dick pics. I figured you needed a notice on your anniversary, on your stag party.
Wait. Who?
You didn't see it?
No, what happened? An NSA check?
That girl got busted. Maybe it was a while ago. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe it's fake. But, I ain't LARPing. I saw it. It was real.
But what?
The chick had 16 million dick pics in her shit and got arrested. I mean, not 16,000, not 160, not 16. 16 million. And she's somehow NSA, or the NSA got her, or she's involved with the NSA. I think she's Democrat.
I don't know. Hold on a second. I found something on Reddit here.
Come on, man.
It can't be.
It could be fake. I don't know. I hope it ain't fake. It sounded
And FBI raids.
too real to me.
FBI raids home. NSA employee's home reveals over 16 million dick pics. Hold on.
You had to have that. You know what I mean, Frank? Because you're that kind of guy.
Well, I gotta find it. This sounds like it would be a joke. Wait.
Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
You have a good one, man. I hope you have an awesome renewing of the vows and stuff. And I'll send some prayers and Holy Spirit for you.
Thank
You'll
you.
be all good.
I appreciate you, John.
Have fun, man. Do it the right way around. You'll be good.
And send
That's
my best to your wife, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. That's awesome. Bye.
Take
Good
care.
night.
I wish I could, in a perfect world, I wish I can have you all there at the church. That'd be nice. And then, in a perfect world, I have enough coffee to serve you all afterwards. I don't think that this is a real story. I think it's just an easy way to get some clicks because it's funny, and there's far more than 16 million dick pics floating around. And there you have it. Mother Moose kills Alaska man. A 70-year-old Alaska man attempting to take photos of her newborn calves. Hold on. I've got to reload 3 times. You ever notice that? A 70-year-old Alaska man who was attempting to take photos of 2 newborn moose calves was attacked and killed by their mother, authorities said Monday. The man killed Sunday was identified as Dale Chorman of Homer, said Austin McDaniel, a spokesperson for the Alaska Department of Public Safety. The female moose had recently given birth to the calves in Homer. Is that them? A female moose not pictured. Oh, so this is just a picture of a female moose. That's very racist. As they were walking through the brush looking for a moose, that's when the cow moose attacked Dale. The attack happened as the 2 were running away. The second man, who has not been publicly identified, was uninjured. That person did not witness the attack, so authorities cannot say if the moose killed Chorman by kicking or stomping him or a combination. Damn. Stay away from these damn things, ladies and gentlemen. Stay away. Stay away. All right. All right, a little bit more. Brew Bark says, happy anniversary, Frank and Lauren, coming up to 35th in July. Wow. Congratulations. Thank you, Stephen and Lori says, tomorrow will be beautiful. Enjoy. Robert Sarn says, happy reaffirmation of your marriage. God bless everyone. Thank you, guys. Thank you, gals. All right, let's go to the phone lines. 914-200-0269. Let's take it for, I just lost 2 callers. All right, well, we'll see what happens after that. Speaking of marriage and all that stuff, you heard about, obviously, Kansas City, Harrison Butker, who's like one of the most reliable kickers in postseason history or something like that. And I knew that this was going to get bad. And especially over the weekend, it just got worse and worse and worse as far as the that happened. Harrison Butker, he is a devout Catholic, and he was giving some words like at a commencement at a Catholic college, speaking very traditionally, especially speaking out to all the women in the audience and urging them to reject all of the the feminist postmodern nonsense that's been really driven down their throats, and to embrace traditionalism and what his wife means to him in their household and raising their children, and how his life is and whatever. He's conveying traditionally Catholic / Christian messages in what you would assume to be an appropriate setting, but did the daggers come out? Did the daggers come out for this guy? And I just waited and watched it gets worse and worse and worse, because I saw the clip. Timothy Gordon shared the clip well over a week ago at this point, and the reaction just got worse. But now listen to this retarded shit. Kansas City Star publishes article demanding the Chiefs replace Butker with a woman. Okay? A female kicker. The Kansas City Star which would actually be the best way to set feminism back 750 years. That would actually be the best way. Okay? Because it's so ridiculous. Oh, she's making history when they bring in a girl to like squib kick with 15 seconds left in a college game somewhere. Like just a little squib kick, and then she runs away, and obviously nobody touches her or anything like that. But this would be tremendous. Tremendous. The Kansas City Star published an article asserting that the Chiefs should replace Harrison Butker with a woman as payback for his Neanderthal outburst. Says the Neanderthals, they walk around swinging clubs all day. You can't have a reasonable conversation with any of them, and of course they have no impulse control. Then again, Neanderthals I think might have been actually smarter than humans. From what I am seeing, we might have been de-evolved to keep us a little bit more controlled. Butker enraged shitlibs by giving a commencement speech in Benedictine College, during which he encouraged women to be mothers and homemakers, suggesting it might make them happier than pursuing a career. Although the kicker mentioned how women were completely free to do as they please, his mere suggestion that they might get more fulfillment out of raising children caused an absolute meltdown. It is not that's a understatement or a spot on. Absolute meltdown. The latest incarnation of this hysteria comes in a form of an opinion piece published by the Kansas City Star and written Peter Ham, described the former journalist and public affairs professional of nonprofits, government agencies, and political campaigns. They want to bring a girl in, and it just goes to show that anybody, including that freak George Takei, who had to tweet for like 3 days straight, we have over 200 signatures. We have over 200 signatures to get Harrison Butker fired. Now, like, this is not a civil service job. He's great at his job. You're not football fans. You're a bunch of lunatics. And every outburst is more reason why you should just shut up and get on with your whatever the hell other performative thing you're doing. Just shut up. A couple more days is your gay month. So prepare for that. Anywho, that's what we have tonight. I also had this, why the Vatican chose this precise moment to drop bombshells about UFOs, aliens, and apparitions. It's still more and more I would like to talk about this, but we're going to get more news on this on Thursday. So maybe we just talk about it when I come back. Let's take a call. 504, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Frank?
Yes, who's this?
This is Linda Jones from New Orleans. I just wanted to let you know, first off, I discovered your show through your having Mike Williams on your show. Outstanding. I've been a fan ever since for months. I tune in frequently. And per your topic of frequencies and vibrations and things like that, I'm also a musician, and I believe in one of your shows you're a musician as well, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So from that perspective and the vast experience I've had with music and its effect on people, I have literally experienced people, whether I'm performing, in church, because I'm also a person of faith. So whether I'm performing at masses or not really performing, but ministering, or whether I am singing on stage, I do classical, blues, jazz, pop, and rock. And there is a very powerful significance in the way people feel before, during, and after. And I think that there's even been some studies scientifically, I'm sure that you're aware of how that is healing. And per what you were saying about the healing of cancer, it's been healing, I think, just from the perspective of people being happier, whether it's the dopamine, the frequency of music and how it affects people to make them happier. So I think that there is something to be said about people vibrating at a high level, since there's so many things to bring us down. I wanted to say that. And I also wanted to say congratulations to you and your wife. And I just want to thank you, because your show is amazing. And it's a blessing to tune in.
Linda, it's first of all, I had such fun time talking with Mike Williams the both times he's been on, and I'd love to bring him on again this year, at least once or twice, because he does so much more beyond the Beatles, and he's just wonderful to talk to. And of course, I get to meet people like you, and I'm happy that you found a home over here with this show as well. And what you're saying, it makes me think about a lot. We've talked about in frequency conversations in the past, just even talking more basically about, or I should say fundamentally about the way that churches, cathedrals, chapels were created with acoustics in mind, with acoustic resonance in mind. Gregorian chant, whatever it is, it wasn't just the choir, the voices, and the training that you would come together, that you would bring people together in order to connect with people and in that way, but also how those voices play off inside of a concert hall, inside of a cathedral. I mean, that again fluffs that frequency, that energy to bigger, to even bigger levels, and it truly does penetrate deep into an entire crowd of people. And if you really just calm yourself, you're not distracted. I mean, sometimes it's just hard. It's hard to ignore, but if you calm yourself, you're not distracted, and you open yourself up to it. It is literally like you are a tuning fork, and you're struck, and it flows through you, and it is a state of elation in many respects.
Yeah, and Frank, I started in the church, as many musicians, and that is part of my work as a music minister, but I sing these different types of music. So a church that I'm doing some work in currently, big cathedral, big, beautiful stained glass. And there's always been, as I'm sure you know, being from New York, I've visited many times, being a New Orleanian, and there is this phenomenal, extraordinary connection between New York and New Orleans, and being port cities. We're also cities that are very Catholic oriented, with many cathedrals. And a friend of mine who's now deceased would always say that, when we go back in history architecturally, that churches were built to raise our hearts and minds and souls to God. So as there's more modern type, newer built churches. And then there are the ones with the older architecture, which I just feel enveloped in.
Mm-hmm.
And this current one that I'm working in that's about 104 years old, you walk in there and your mind is already so raised. And then when I begin to sing and work with the other musicians, it's just a feeling that there is literally no comparison to. So I understand what you're saying. And I've visited your beautiful city with friends many times. And in many ways, be it voices, be it culture, New York reminds me a lot of New Orleans. But anyway, I'm thrilled to be able to talk with you. And I am just so grateful for the work that you do. It is truly refreshing.
I hope you call in many times after this, and very, very nice to speak with you tonight. And I'm glad that we got to kind of derail a little bit and talk about this, because it is open lines. We can talk about anything, and I'm glad you brought this up. And I'm glad I read that other thing that with Rife and everything. So hopefully that was the inspiration for the call, because I'm happy that you called in. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you very much. And I hope you all have a wonderful celebration with the renewal of your vows.
Oh, thank you, Linda. I'll talk to you soon, I'm sure.
Okay, you take care.
Okay, take care. I was going to play this on Thursday night. I couldn't find a place for it when Jay was on with me. This was a short or a reel that I had found somewhere. It's this choir that is breaking down a performance of Lacrimosa down into 4 parts: bass, tenor, alto, soprano. No baritone in there. But again, the layers. Take a listen to this. I mean, it's just things like this that make me want to listen over and over. And it's just about, it doesn't even matter what, it's the vowels. It's the open vowels. It doesn't even matter what the hell they're saying. Though, of course, a message is always important. But again, it's just the projection of the frequency, of the tone. Listen to this. Yeah. That's serious. That's serious, man. That's some serious stuff right there. And I listen in Aurora, I make sure whenever we go out driving, I'll put Aurora in the car. We go out, do all types of errands, and she gets the ultimate playlists of everything. Ultimate playlists. From this to Judas Priest, everything, but this really, especially when she hears the voices, then she'll say, it sounds like heaven. Are those angels? I said, it sounds like angels. I said, you know what? I know it sounds like angels, but that is what you can do. Takes practice, but damn. I mean, that's a weapon right there, but a weapon for good. Seriously. And I think that's what's missing. I know many of you out there, you go to churches, services, whatever the hell. It may not even be religious, but you go places where they take music, the choir or any other kind of music element very seriously, and it brings you to that part. Concert halls, whatever the hell it is. I know it's out there, but man, I think that is missing from many experiences in church. And everybody does let me tell you something. If I was with a choir like this, if I had a choir like this right here at my church at 7:30 in the morning on Sundays, I would leave buzzing like I don't know, like one of those Looney Tunes that just had gotten hit with a hand in the head with a pan or something like that, just kind of like vibrating. But I don't. No, the 7:30 Mass on Sunday has a single man, solitary man in his early 70s named Larry. And I had to sit. I met up with my priest not too long ago, become friends. And I said, Father Pat, I got to tell you something. He goes, what? I said, 7:30 Mass on Sundays. Who's the guy that's singing? He goes, oh, Larry. I said, listen, I know, God love him. I know he feels like this. He has to do this. He wants to do this. You can tell but it is so incredibly bad. And here's the thing, nobody asked him to do it. He told me, he said, I don't know. It's just something he does. Nobody asked him. He just does it. And I just don't have the heart to tell him. And obviously I'm not going to say, well, we got to find a way to take him out, but it does kill it. So there's an opposite to that. If I had these people sitting in any place that I'm sitting and they're vocalizing, no matter what the hell they're singing, there's going to be something that gets you tuned up. Like they are piano tuners, people who come in and they know how to use their voice like this, and they project that frequency down to everybody. I really do believe that is almost just like chasing away bad energy and gets you tuned up. It's almost like the song of a whale. Those really awesome. I like those really awesome theories about whales. The song of the whales, they actually help tune, and they work with that Schumann resonance of the earth. And that the whale song is actually a lot more important to the fine tuning of the earth as a whole. Well, all I got is Larry. He's a nice enough guy, and but it takes me out of the zone. And some days I'm just like, oh man, it hurts. I don't want to feel physical pain when I'm trying to get in a zone and pray and just make my mind right for the rest of the week. Poor Larry. Oh, they must complain about him a lot. Like, is there anything we can do? On Easter, it was a little bit better because they had a pianist that came in to accompany, and there was a female voice, and he was also a part of it too. So it was a little bit better, but not like this. Anywho, we were talking about making babies all night, and everybody, please keep me and my family in your prayers over the next 24 hours. It'd be really wonderful. And I really appreciate this. And I'll be checking in on you somehow. And I'll go live in some respect on Wednesday. I promise you that. Thank you, Stowstube, for a last minute super chat over on, let me see. Did I anything else come in on Rumble Rant? No, Rumble is quiet as a graveyard as usual. But over on quitefrankly.tv, the Pilled, the Foxhole, it's always very lively. It's a wonderful place to hang out. Thank you. C. Blanche says they're late. Don't worry about it. You're just on time. Well, one more call before we leave because we have 2 more minutes. Scott, is that you?
This is Sam.
Oh, Sam, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good. If you eat capicola today, what happens tomorrow?
If I eat capicola today?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You get gabagool in your stool. Oh!
Give you cup of cold today, you got gabagool in your stool. That's it. Well, thank you, Sam. That's a good one.
Have a good one, dude. I wish you good luck tomorrow.
Oh, hey, man. You know, thank you for ending the show like that. I need some more like this. I need more.
Right.
I need more. I need more of those little quick zingers. Call in with them more often, guys. Thank you again, Sam. I said we're going gabagool, gabagool, gabagool. Gabagool means it becomes gabagool. Bring him the gabagool. All right. Thanks, guys. You've been fantastic. I'll talk to you in a little bit, and watch for my my updates. I'll drop a little something, a little success. I mean, what's gonna go wrong? Oh, knock on wood. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Quite Frankly is filmed before a live studio audience, and now our super chatters, starting with Stostube, Hello Kitty, ST, Shotzi, Jay Britz, Shannon Moore, to our wonderful Rumble ranter. Where the hell are they? Poso for Hope, I love you, thank you so much. And to all of our wonderful friends on Pilled.net, right there at the center of QuiteFrankly.tv. We had such a wonderful time last night for the Sunday show, watching Moonstruck together. It was something special. I really appreciate you all that hang out with me on QuiteFrankly.tv. Please become a sponsor. If you enjoy the show on a nightly basis, it only takes $5 a month, and a world of exclusivity opens up to you. I appreciate you. I'll be back working hard for you before you know it. Good night, everybody.
Okay, Chief, take him away. I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife.